Hello everyone and welcome to another Financial Markets Weekly Update video. My name is Styliana, I'm the Head of Investments and Market Research at Pure, and in today's video we're going to see how the commodities, stocks and crypto markets reacted to the news and also what to expect in the current week from the markets. In the previous week we had the CPI data, which measures the overall inflation. The Consumer Price Index, a broad measure of everyday goods and services related to the cost of living, soared by 9.1% from a year ago, above the 8.8% Dow Jones estimate. That marked the fastest pace for inflation going back to November 1981. We're moving on to the crypto news of the previous and the current week. Ethereum devs set date for merge in September. According to Tim Baker of the Ethereum Foundation, the much-awaited merge event for Ethereum's transition to proof of stake might take place the week of September 19. The proposed target date didn't face any objection from the core developers. So, in other news, Vladimir Putin signs bill banning digital assets as payments into law. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has reportedly signed into law the draft bill prohibiting digital financial assets as payments. With the passing of the law, digital asset investment platforms will likely be required to submit transactions and actions to the Russian Central Bank's registry as part of their national payment system. Also, Celsius Network reveals $1.2 billion shortfall in bankruptcy filing. According to the latest report, Celsius bankruptcy filings have revealed a $1.2 billion deficit in the firm's balance sheet. CEO Alex Mashinsky attributed the deficit to poor investments and other unanticipated losses. The firm reported $5.5 billion in total liabilities and $4.3 billion in assets. Now let's move into the current week's news. This week we have PMIs for United States, Europe and Japan. July's flash PMIs will be released across the UK, US, Eurozone, Japan and Australia. June's PMI figures pointed to a slowdown of growth and some contradictions in demand and output. Survey prices gauges remained persistently high. However, though, there were some signs that inflationary pressures were starting to subside. In other news, US flash PMIs in focus this week. This week we will see US flash PMIs in focus after last month's data pointed to a US demanding falling as inflation rates hit 40 years high, but leading indicators of inflation fell. Growth is expected to slow in July. Meanwhile, after Canadian policymakers surprised the market with a larger than expected 100 basis points rate hike, this week's inflation data will be in focus with the CPI predicted to remain high around the 8.8% mark. Now let's move on into Europe. UK jobs data, ECB interest rate decisions, Eurozone sentiment and inflation data. A great deal of significant economic events and releases are scheduled for Europe this week, with the European Central Bank interest rate decision on top of the agenda. Policymakers are expected to execute a 25 basis point hike and are likely to follow with a further 50 basis points hike in September. But the 50 basis points rise can by no means be ruled out at the July meeting, as inflation worries continues to mount and the euro descends to 20-year low parity to the dollar. That's all the news for the current week, guys. That's also what happened in the previous week in the financial markets. So if you have any questions or if you want to open a trading account with us, you can contact us through our website or our social media. We'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you for watching and wishing you a profitable trading week.